Hello, hello, Danger Nettles. Oh my god. Anyways. Oh shit, hold on.
Oh, I
What?
forgot that I forgot that I'm still botched more.
Oh, I have good news. Hi, Rando. Um, yeah, they didn't hear you say danger nipples. Because even though I didn't reset my computer, when I updated NVIDIA, it changed my sound settings for you.
Well,
Of
that's a
course
dick
it
move in
did.
video.
Fuck you, NVIDIA.
Though Rando apparently has good news.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the good news. What's the good news? And looked into people making the SCP movie. The person also worked with Blair Witch, The Wing, and the Lego movie somehow.
One of these things is not like the other.
One of these doesn't belong.
The greatest horror franchise in the history of horror. Lego movie.
Honestly, that makes it so that the SCP movie is going to be sick.
Aliens.
Yeah, I didn't expect that tie. Gonna be honest. Fair enough. Yeah. The one thing I I am really glad to see the SCP movie coming out, mainly because the closest thing we have to an SCP movie, as far as I'm aware, is Cabin in the Woods. The monster designs are great. I don't know what the fuck to say about the story.
Cabin in the Woods.
It's it's a movie. Like the monster designs are incredible, but the story is just so confusing at times. So, anyways, you ready to start?
I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember if this is the film I was thinking of.
You're looking at it.
Oh no, it's not. Oh, it's not. The for what is the film I was thinking of? I thought it was an M. Night Shyamalan film, which would very much track.
No,
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 it's
no, no,
not
no.
M. It's not M. Night.
Yeah. Random says, I can now only imagine 16 appearing then. Oh my gosh, sing the Lego song, everything is awesome.
Just everything is awesome, blaring as fucking 610 blobs start rampaging through a city.
I am kind of curious and wondering which SCPs they would choose.
You see, that's that. You know, let's tie this. Get amalgamated, bitch. Just tie this into part of the conversation we had before stream, where I mentioned that like commonly the difference between something being a horror piece of media and not is just how it's handled and its tone. Good example.
Yeah. All right. So tangent aside, the first SCP of the night is SCP-2901, aka Mothman. I like the art.
I I love owls.
Uh, Also, I saw the thumbnail already, and Hatch is not gonna like it.
Great.
Alright. Item SCP-2901, Object Class Euclid. Special containment procedures. Because of the extra-dimensional properties related to 2901, there are currently no methods of physical containment. Cancer reports involving 2901 will be remitted to MTF 55. Wait, is that 55? Is that actually how you
Five.
is that actually how you say it?
If I remember correctly, yeah.
That's actually kind of funny. TF-55, Twilighters, for further investigation. Civilian sightings of 2901 will be suppressed using amnestic field applications. Media links regarding 2901 will be deleted or discredited by Information Destruction, Censorship, and Rescission Division. ID card.
I don't card.
Alright, field personnel should avoid 2901 if all possible. Those authorized to investigate 2901 must carry mobile devices capable of short message services, SMS, in case of sudden acoustic cancellation. If a hostile encounter is unavoidable, personnel should adhere to the following steps. 1. Do not attempt to run. Fleeing may provoke 2901 to give chase. 2. Hold your ground. Be sure to make eye contact. 3.
Wait, do make eye contact?
Yeah, be sure to make eye
That's one,
contact.
that's one of those things that you generally don't want to do with predatory animals.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll see why.
Yeah.
Alright. 3. Make a threat display, using clothing to intimidate to increase in body mass. 4. Continue step 3 until 2901 becomes disinterested and submits. 5. Avoid physical contact if all possible. Due to the function of 2901's mass, any physical connection made between entity and victim will result in intersecting membranous contact. This phenomenon usually results in removal of the dermal layer along the area as along the contact area as 2901 retracts. Link to oh, there's a photo. Someone made a photograph of the wounds you can get.
Warning graphic. Let's.
Be able to throw objects of
I'm
green tastes. I have to go all the way to the bottom to click it. All right, so hold on. Oh God.
Yeah, that tracks. Given how they described it. It's got some lesions.
All right, description. 2901 is a species of nocturnal carnivorous scavengers of limited intelligence.
Rude.
Averaging 1.7 meters in height, 2901 usually appear as having an ellipsoid shape and possesses 2 large eyes layered with photomorphic tissue. 2901 are covered in a layer of minute iridescent lamellar scales, similar to Lepido.
That's.
Huh?
That's a lamp. That's lamellar.
Lamellar scales, similar to uh Lepidopterans. The fuck is that?
Lepidoptera.
Lepidopterans. Lepidoptera are a large order of insects that includes moths and butterflies. Oh,
Yeah, they got the little scales. Helps them fly.
he 2901 are able to move through space-time freely, granting them certain abilities such as levitation, flight, and teleportation. 2901 are, however, tangible and susceptible to conventional firearms. 2901 are also able to emit an acoustic cancellation effect within a radius of approximately 25 meters. Damn. The purpose or function of this ability is not wholly understood, but is theorized to aid in stealth. Oh. Several methods of containment and/or deterrence are still being considered. However, because of the elusiveness of 2901, a large majority of the general public are aware of related incidents and possibly even the existence of 2901. Countermeasures are in place as a temporary solution for protecting information on 2901.
Are they gonna say that Mothman actually was the cause for the bridge collapse, but it was like he accidentally like warped into the bridge?
That would be funny. Also, I know it's not in here, but it would be so funny if there was a Parawatch entry in here.
Oh, that would like actually be one of the most fitting Parawatch entries
Yeah.
ever made. Like it's literally their bread and butter. Like it's an
Yeah.
actual it's an actual cryptid.
But it's not in here, sadly.
That's a big suck. I
Missed
wanted to see
opportunity.
I wanted to see Parawatch's take on the big old snowy owl. Yeah, yeah, fun fact, if I remember correctly, someone actually ended up shooting and taxidermying the owl that's probably responsible for the Mothman craze.
Oh my god.
There's like an exceptionally large snowy owl that had gone abnormally south.
Uh, so I decided to click the email, but apparently that actually goes to compose an actual email to send to you.
Oh, damn.
Like, that's a fully functional email.
I thought it was a heron. I don't believe it was a heron. I'm pretty sure herons don't have the same sort of uh eyes that make them glow in the dark.
Yeah,
At least if I remember correctly.
yeah. This. All right, so this is Operation Surgeon's Photograph. Priority Dalet. Internal use only. Preamble. Due to the uncontainable nature and general notoriety of 2901, certain protocols must be established in order to quell civilian suspicion as to the existence of these entities. The following is an outline of Operation Surgeon's Photograph that should be reviewed by your respective teams.
Oh, I love that.
Oh?
Oh, I love that name. The surgeon's photograph refers to like the iconic uh uh Loch Ness monster photograph.
Oh, nice.
That's like almost certainly a hoax. Like some village pranksters later came out and said that they made like a little remote controlled thing and had their gynecologist friend photograph it. Yes, it's a gynecologist. They just changed it to surgeon because they don't want to talk about gynecology. But yeah, that's the source of that, and I appreciate that.
I think Hatchet really likes this SCP so far.
I'm enjoying it. Yeah. Also, are you still here slash all right, Jerry?
I'm still here.
Ah,
Okay, just wanted to be sure.
yeah. Any, anyways, counterintelligence. Due to the nature of Operation Surgeon's photograph, information regarding 2901 does not require additional safeguards against espionage. Information about 2901 will remain accessible on the Foundation main list database. Standard protocols for sensitive information, access clearance, and storage still apply. Identification of sensitive material. Utilizing automated virtual agents already in place, certain keywords related to 2901 will be routinely searched and red flagged on the daily reports. Pages will be reviewed by selected teams as they are discovered and remitted to the tactical planning team to determine the severity and next course of action. Disinformation campaign. Tactical planning team will review suspected files/pages and make decisions and recommendations regarding pertinent threats. Dozens of online dummy accounts for media sharing websites are to be created and managed by ID Card's special cyberspace unit. Using these dummy accounts, content regarding the presence and/or glorification of 2901 will be made widely available. This is to saturate any shared leaked footage or images with fabricated disinforming content. Content will be developed and published in a variety of mediums related to 2901, including fictional stories, doctored photographic images, visual semi-realistic art, falsified eyewitness interviews, merchandise.
I still think that like genuinely one of my favorite elements of SCP lore is that they just outright use standard uh cryptid merchandising and like the way that people tend to react to cryptids as a means of containment just
Yeah.
by making it so that anyone with half of a brain uh can notice that there's issues with the general narrative and say, "Oh, so this is probably fake."
Yeah.
And then rely on and hope that all the people who are duped into believing it uh are effectively harmless with it
Yeah.
because most of society will go, "Ah, yeah, so this is bullshit." That's like one of my favorite elements of SCP lore.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. The Foundation front company, Studio City Productions, will be contracted to create several low-budget documentaries involving 2901, while including other well-known cryptids from folklore.
Fuck yeah. Mothman is real in my heart.
This will
If it
further,
makes you
huh?
feel if it makes you feel better, the most likely cause for Mothman created a very similar cryptid in the same state, like just like 2 decades before, in the form of the Flatwoods Monster.
Nice.
Are you talking about the fact that that Mothman might just be really huge owls?
Yeah, like I was mentioning earlier, there was actually like it seems very possible that someone actually ended up shooting and taxidermying the owl that was Mothman.
Oh,
It was like an abnormally large snowy owl that had migrated further south
oh.
than they normally would be. And like the number of eyewitness accounts of Mothman organically coming in drastically reduced after this man shot that owl.
Yeah.
That is depressing.
It is depressing, but at least we know the likely cause, even more so.
Yeah. Anyways, this will further aid in convincing the general public that the existence of 2901 is highly questionable and, in all likelihood, impossible to validate. Required deletions. Any source material of 2901 deemed too sensitive to be accessible to civilians will also be addressed by a special cyberspace unit. Standard protocols for denial of service (DOS) operations will be carried out to isolate the source. After the source is isolated, efforts will be made to erase the original content. Any information regarding the original poster of the material will then be handled over to MTF-55 Twilighters for further investigation. In all cases, services will be restored once the material has been erased. Any DOS operations in excess of 24 hours will need to be reported to the Department of External Affairs. Station of Operations Operation Surgeon's Photograph will continue until the viable method of containment or deterrent of 2901 is in place. Virtual agents will continue to search for keywords related to 2901. These will include on the mouth end reports to be reconciled at the end of the quarter. Content made during operation, surgeon's photograph will remain accessible. Oh my god, Hatchet. You're gonna love this. The,
Okay.
the first official documented incursion of 2901 was near the town of Redacted. Uh,
Why
is
are you...
why?
Wait a
'Cause
second. Let me just. I need a.
it's WV
How?
Wyoming or West. Oh wait,
No,
it's West
it's
Virginia.
yeah, it's West Virginia. For fuck's sake, they're your neighbors, dipshit.
Shut up.
Yeah, so can you count the syllables or the letters there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Points.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8.
Pleasant. It's just Point Pleasant. Why did they redact
I
this?
don't know. But wait, Hatchet. There's more. West Virginia, USA, in 19 redacted, following the collapse of redacted.
Why? Why are we, why, why
They
are we
redacted
redacting this?
easy to look up information.
Why are we redacting this? 19...
So, Hatchet, what you
Isn't it
said
just like the
earlier.
Foundation?
So, Hatchet, what you said earlier might actually be true.
It's like we they just block out the 67 and redact the Silver Bridge. This is the funniest way I've ever seen redaction used in in a SCP article. Because it's just like like it's redacting easily available shit that I could like double check on Wikipedia. I have Mothman's Wikipedia open. Okay.
Let's
Okay.
continue.
Yeah.
Uh, since then, continuing field operations have concluded that 2901 are an aggressively territorial and solitary species. 2901 normally do not engage or reveal themselves openly to humans and will often retreat or vanish if discovered.
The answer of 2 plus 2 is redacted.
Nice. Further observations suggest that 2901 are able to approximate the time and location of future disasters with a certain degree of accuracy, particularly those resulting in multiple fatalities. This precognitive ability is believed to function as a sociological sense comparable to scent.
That's physiological
Oh,
sense.
physiological sense comparable to scent. Data varies, however, on a positive however, on the number of 2901 given the area that versus the total fatalities after disaster event occurs that. False positive incursions, though rare, have also been observed. This is supported by accounts and reports showing a sudden presence of 2901 within the vicinity of the disaster area, usually within a month or week before it occurs. During this period, many 2901 will claim rights to the area, resulting in altercations with other 2901, sometimes including human bystanders being mistaken as threats. During these aggressive territorial behaviors, 2901 are able to change their physical shape into a large nebulous-like body as a threat display.
Nebulous.
Nebulous-like body as a threat display. After a disaster event occurs, the remaining 2901 will take part in feeding off the deceased in a frenzy-like behavior until the food source is depleted, vacating once satiated.
This might be one of my new favorite SCPs.
Yeah, confidential priority Gimel. Directive. Operations Surgeon's photograph is considered the special containment procedures for 2901 and is operate under the guise of an active public disinformation campaign. MTF-55 will be responsible for its continuation, level of effectivity, and maintaining acceptable levels of public awareness and conception. As a point of clarification, the purpose of operations such as photograph is not to protect information on 2901, rather control information on 2901. Summary: 2901's current evolution is a sum of Foundation efforts in manipulating its existence through public perception. 2901 are a group of extra-dimensional entities that lack a stable, cohesive form and purpose that only coalesces through continued observation reconciliation. For 2901 to maintain a stable physical mass, approximately 75% of the nearby human populace within 500 kilometers need to be congruent on a singular concept of what 2901 is and what it does.
Oh, that's really cool. That's like a really cool SCP way to describe like the fact that like the actual answer to why cryptids change form from narrative to narrative is like uh humans are fucky and they don't know what they're seeing, and it only becomes consistent after like a certain image becomes exceptionally popular. Like if you go out and look up the early quote unquote encounters with the Loch Ness monster, it's absolutely all over the place until fucking King Kong came out. And suddenly it's a plesiosaur because there was a plesiosaur in King Kong.
Right. Yeah.
That's I This is an awesome SCP.
2901 were first discovered and categorized as a highly unstable Keter class entities capable of producing localized CK class scenarios at random. Further research in 2901's unstable manifestations proved to be futile, as, unbeknownst to Foundation scientists at the time, 2901 would involuntarily change during each subsequent observation. During a containment breach into the civilian populated areas within the Appalachian region of the southern United States, 2901 began gradually condensing into a singular manifestation the more it was exposed to humans. Civilians began conceding into the conceding to the idea that 2901 was a dark winged-like humanoid with large red eyes, which correspond to the pre-existing local folklore. 2901 also began to evolve predatory-like behaviors and anomalous acoustic effects that conceptualized due to the mass fear generated within the surrounding communities. Foundation researchers recognized the effects that began isolating 2901 as much as possible. However, deprived of the regular perceptual input, 2901 began to devolve into its initial highly unstable manifestations once again. The decision was made to maintain 2901 into a functioning, manageable state through continued exposure to human perceptual belief that 2901 is a tangible creature of local folklore, another Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster. Wait, Loch Ness Monster is an SCP? Oh my god, it is! Oh my god, it is!
Okay, so wait.
This makes me very happy.
It does too. Also, what is this botched ass wrong plesiosaur we've got here? I
well,
want to give him a boop.
it's a feral adult male.
Are you Oh, I guess it is.
Yeah,
I was thinking it was like a baby.
nope.
Yeah, yeah, fun fact. One of the key things to look out for to like figure out whether or not a cryptid has like any substantial uh like chance of being real is check whether or not it remains consistent with scientific like later scientific findings on like any given animal it's based on, because 9 times out of 10 it's not. This plesiosaur, if this plesiosaur was an actual plesiosaur, it has a broken neck.
Yeah. Oh my.
Actual plesiosaurs we now know had very limited range of movement with their necks.
All right. So
It might
before
actually be a relative to plesiosaur.
I mean, the idea could be that like it evolved more flexibility, but like the general the general trend of this is the common picture of plesiosaur that is now understood to be inaccurate, and this picture also just so happens to be how people perceive this this cryptid.
Also, also, before we go back to Mothman, the MTF that deals with this SCP is MTF too. Clever girls.
I love that so much.
Oh
That
my
all
Really
all
god.
think it's
that's
possible it's a relative because it seemed like the picture is smaller than a normal plesiosaur.
oh yeah, no. Like like based on like skimming the initial stuff, it's like a much smaller uh
Oh, these
oh
poor,
no.
these poor
No, it was
creatures.
no. Why the fuck is Marshall Carter and Dark pulling a Jurassic Park?
To be
They just
fair, they would.
What are you surprised?
my god, these poor
Oh,
creatures.
Hatchet, this should make you happy. Currently, these SCPs are in Site 2020's Parasitology Reserve, known publicly
Okay,
as
so
the Baihe Natural Reserve. So,
okay, so basically, these were originally found in Scotland. From the sounds of it, SCP Foundation picked up on Marshall and Carter and Dark pulling a fucking Michael Crichton, and then pick them up and put them somewhere where they're not gonna get constantly fucked with by tourists.
yeah.
Oh, I just noticed the special containment procedures, a pot of 58 and now 59. So either they found an extra one or oh no, there's a breeding program. So they've got a baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay. This is one of the less awful things Marshall and Carter has done. Even though, we have an entire series that's entire premise is don't do this. It's a bad idea. But
well, technically, we can't say it's one of the less evil things they did since it's the Foundation taking care of them. Uh,
well, I mean, like in comparison to the broader scale of the shit that they've done,
that's fair.
messing around with some prehistoric animals' lives is like relatively lower on the list. As fucked as that is, because they're still playing God.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about what they did to that one woman.
It's it's a pretty bad sign of how awful they are when casually playing God with animals' lives is on the lower end of your atrocities.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go back to Mothman.
Yeah, back to the owl boy.
Yeah. The nearby Silver Bridge collapse of 1967 and the 2901 Appalachian incursion in reality have no connection with one another. However, public opinion strongly disagreed, and henceforth 2901 began to appear at other future disaster events. This was a
Wait,
wait, so
wait,
people
wait. I okay, so besides the fact that apparently people effectively just started summoning the Mothman
yeah,
near disaster zones, unintentionally, uh, Robert Hammond would work with Marshall Carter. Oh God.
yeah.
Um, the other thing I just find mildly frustrating is why is the Silver Bridge and the date not redacted here? You redacted it earlier in the article. Why not do it here? Is it
Maybe they
because
forgot to.
or I guess
Yeah.
this document that we're looking at right now is probably like higher level
Yeah.
than the earlier parts of the document.
Oh, you're
All
right,
right.
it is.
Let's
Had to go
see.
through the clearance.
A level 4
Oh
access
yeah, level 4.
required.
Oh, okay. That makes a bit more sense. So if you're level 4, you get to be told that it's the information directly off of Mothman's Wikipedia article.
Eh, Any
If Mothman was real, I would pet him and say he's the goodest boy, and I would get injured.
Be sure to give chin scratchies. I
Yeah.
I I have seen many videos that imply that owls like chin scratchies.
Oh my gosh, random person
He
says, "Who knew I as a civilian had level 4 clearance?"
Yeah, it's crazy, man. The SCP standards are really plummeting.
Yeah, anyways, this was the precursor of the precognitive scavenging ammo-like behavior that is observed today. Efforts to continue gradually introducing notions developed by the Foundation as the further 2901's evolution into a more docile and manageable concept. Internal
Just
counter.
just
Huh?
just make enough kids films of Mothman being just a wholesome little being, and eventually Mothman will be just a wholesome little being.
Yeah. Internal counterintelligence. Only Foundation personnel with level 4 clearance are permitted to view this document. For all intents and purposes, all other personnel are to be included in actively contributing to 2901's processual evolution. It is pertinent that this document be limited to no more than 50 persons, including the O5 Council.
Okay, that makes a bit more sense.
Yeah.
Festus, why do you yell? Are you jealous of Mothman? No, you're just gonna clean yourself? Okay, let's watch this atrocity.
Well, you know what happens first.
Mm.
God, you're gonna hate this so much. I'm so sorry, Ash.
No, you're not. Just send the image.
I'm kind of dreading the image. Maybe it's just a 1.
In 3, it is not. 2,
Oh, no.
1.
Uh,
Or did they
why
even
is
read?
why the fuck is Mothman a dragon werewolf?
Like I said, it's a 4.
What the I are
Like,
they
I'm pretty sure this described Mothman in the beginning as basically a scaly moth butterfly thing. So probably
yeah,
a moth.
like
And now,
I I would have been fine if they say went with the more culturally relevant idea of Mothman rather than like the image of Mothman that's like what people actually claim to have seen, like the humanoid with wings on the back and super caked up for some reason. That statue in Point Pleasant, I don't know why they made Mothman so caked up. Um, but what the fuck is this? Did they hear about the concept of a horned owl and decide, oh, if you make a horned owl bigger, it's just a werewolf, yeah? Is that how this works?
Yes.
Anyway,
uh,
I feel that the man in this image is collectively is a good representation of our collective response to this image.
running away from it, screaming.
I'm more just screaming in horror at the image in general, but yeah,
Remember the channel in the name of the Holy Mothman.
I'm fine with this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a 4.
that's a flaw.
Uh,
I literally told you were gonna hate it.
I hope, like, I pray to all that is above and below wherever the gods may be, that
I don't
they have
think
a better
Satan's rank
depiction.
enough to touch that.
So, I apparently accidentally found a content farm, but it's Russian.
Mm,
Right there.
fun.
Sadly, we can't do it because none of us speak Russian.
Festus, can you not mess with my chair? You fucking weirdo.
Absolutely not.
You do not speak for my Festus. He has big enough voice as it is.
He
Harry.
speaks for all the cats, Festus does. And none of them, and I doubt any of them agree with his opinion.
Alright.
I am the Festus, and I speak for the fee
I
lines.
gotta
I don't know,
click
man.
some things.
That was really lame. Festus. I have a hot water bottle in my arms.
Alright, we ready?
Why is this hot water bottle so fuzzy?
I don't know. Alright, playing the video. And 3, 2, 1.
How many sightings did you say there were? 52, I answered, sick of being asked the same question. So, how many of them are there in total? Impossible to tell. They can appear and disappear, teleport, all sorts.
Oh, so there's Mothman.
That's a somewhat more reasonable depiction. So I guess
So far, we only know about the glowing red eyes. We don't know how accurate it is yet.
Well, no, I mean I can see it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can only see the eyes.
Yeah, it's really dark, but I can see its outline. It's basically humanoid moth thing. Wings look more
Okay.
bat-like than moth-like, but
Yeah.
it's a start.
Well,
0 out
that
of
would
10.
still
He
be
isn't caked up.
inaccurate, but more accurate than the thumbnail.
More accurate than dragon werewolf. Also, 0 out of 10. He isn't caked up. That's true. This Mothman has a very flat ass. This is not Mothman.
Yeah.
Hashtag not my Mothman.
Alright, in 3, 2, 1.
Sorts of unusual stuff. Space and time as we know it means nothing to them. I told the Foundation I didn't want to buddy up any more newbies, but here I was on the subway with an eager new Twilighter investigating SCP-2901. I suppose I had so much experience, the Foundation figured they'd at least get their new investment back alive. What should we be
May I
looking for?
just comment?
Yes.
They drew the quote unquote newbie so young he looks like a teenager.
They just pulled him off of a random varsity team. It's like, hey buddy, you want to work for our top secret organization like it's Spy Kids?
You got free healthcare.
Oh no,
Oh,
that sounds
damn.
dangerous. Free healthcare. Done.
You got free healthcare, 401k, insurance.
You get to very likely die an early death. What fun.
Foundation
Festus?
scholarships are no joke.
Festus? Would you like to be a Foundation agent?
Oh,
Neutralize for petting out your resume. Anyways. I'm playing in 3, 2, 1.
Hopefully nothing. The last thing we want is direct contact with the
Wait.
hackers.
I just got a really stupid idea in my mind of like a skit where it's like an old MTF soldier gets laid off because he's like really bad at his job. So he's having to put together his resume. He's out like submitting his resume and getting interviews, and one of the interviewees is like, "So I can't help but notice there's a 25-year gap in your resume. What were you doing in that time?" He just sits there sweating nervously.
Oh, just imagine if it was an older person that got fired because they had to retire or something. Like this 91-year-old guy or something like, uh, how do we know you know how to do paperwork? What's this 50-year gap in
Oh
your
my
work?
god. Yeah.
uh, uh, uh,
And again, if he's
I
91, he probably doesn't need to think about that and
yeah,
hopefully gets to retire.
but it's just like sits there. Non-disclosure agreement. Oh yeah, I guess that's true. You could just he could just pass it off as NDA. There's an NDA. I can't tell you, buddy.
It's like, oh, okay, disappointed face.
I for I forgot where it was cited, but there was, I think it's either a story or a document where it's describing what the foundation does when someone retires is that they just use amnestics.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that makes more sense, but then that also creates the issue of he can't even remember what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah.
Don't ask for the company name. That's in the NDA. Don't ask what were you doing at the company? It's in the NDA. How why were you laid off? NDA. Can you tell me where the company is based? Everywhere. NDA. What do you mean I was married 27 years? I was 20 yesterday. Okay. Okay.
Anyways, back to the video.
Back on track. Skit like goofy
They're
skit ideas aside.
Yeah.
a lot bigger than you think, almost 2 meters, with large round eyes, like a sheet ghost, but a black void rather than a white specter. If you're unfortunate enough to get close, you'll spot the
What?
scales. They twinkle in the light. What do we... The newbie was cut off by the sound of the subway arriving at our stop. He shut up and stood, nervously following a few feet behind me. The doors opened, and we got our first indication of the chaos. The platform was solemn, with more emergency workers traveling through than you would usually expect to
Oh my
see,
god.
all looking distressed and exhausted. We nodded at them gravely
Jesus.
as we made our way up the stairs and
What happened to those workers?
Well, they're emergency workers. They've been overworked because they're in an emergency. Have you ever seen what people look like after they've spent like 12 hours going through rubble?
No.
It's not pretty.
Mm.
You'd look a lot like them too if you spent 12 hours going through rubble or emergency treating people with severe injuries.
Yeah, and some of the people you try to treat will fight back.
Yeah. There's like
Essentially, how dare you try to save my life? I bet you're trying to kill me.
yeah, because like people's fucking fight or flight responses can get really fucky. They're probably like covered in 75% bruises under those shirts.
Yeah. It's 3, 2, 1.
out onto the street. The apartment building we were aiming for wasn't far from the subway exit. It was illuminated by sirens, and there were screams and tears amongst the collapsed rubble. The stairwell of the building still stood, but outer apartment walls had crumbled, with exposed homes littering the skyline. The early reports were blaming lack of adherence to building regulations. That may have been true, but that, along with the sightings the Foundation had recorded, left me certain that 2901 was going to be found nearby.
So I just
What now?
noticed.
Yeah.
I think they're having this be based in Asia. Everyone we've seen thus far looked like they're intended to be Asian.
You haven't noticed anomalies in America.
Yeah, even though this
Yeah,
anomaly's in fucking
specifically in
West
one
Virginia.
state in America. It's literally only been seen in one
Well,
city in one state in the United States.
that's the actual Mothman. The found like the actual article does talk about it showing up in other places, but everything we know of has it being in the U.S.
Yeah,
Like there was another like severe incident in Lower Appalachia,
yeah.
which would mean like more toward Arkansas than West Virginia.
Mason 3, 2, 1.
He asked, staring vacantly at the carnage before us. We go in. I waved at a police officer, adjusting my tie and scoping the area. We wore black suits and maintained an official, albeit ambiguous, appearance. Amongst the devastation, no one had the time to question our right or authority to be there. I ducked beneath the warning tape
What do
and
you
ushered my
mean?
protege.
That sounds dubious at best.
Right. Oh, let me just
You
walk
you
The
into this crime
Foundation would be
scene.
able to just go in. It wouldn't be dubious. It'd probably just be like have police ID or some shit.
yeah, like this is like or like counterfeit identification for like important other like official organizations like the FBI or CIA.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck do you mean they just like casually let these two random businessmen walk into their fucking disaster zone?
2, 1.
Along with me. This is not a containment mission, I said, as we made our way towards the barely standing apartment entrance. I know you've come over from working on a different object, but 2901 are different. We can't contain them. They're tangible, but they're beyond our control. All we can do is limit the damage in public knowledge. How do we know what the damage is? We look for survivors, and we find out if knowledge of these guys is spreading. The Foundation has steps to limit impact on civilian society. We're going to apply an amnestic field, I continued as we stepped inside the
What?
dust-covered lobby, home to the rickety stairwell that was all that really remained.
Huh?
That was mentioned in the article.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
Of the building. That'll leave anyone who have seen the object within the field's radius in a state of amnesia.
That sounds absurdly that I highly doubt that's how the actual thing works. Yes, let's just casually nuke the memories of everyone in this city. I'm sure this won't have any lasting consequences or get
They're
Parawatch.
dressed more like and acting more like the Men in Black instead of SCP Foundation.
Yeah.
I kind of figure like amnestic field, maybe like they just spread the amnestic gas because they have both gas and liquid for amnestics.
Yeah, my thoughts with the amnestic field would be like it's like a gaseous, odorless, tasteless a thing that goes out and makes it more likely for people to forget a certain event
Which
or remember it differently, which could also work just as well.
yeah, which they do have a lot of because that actually is how 939's amnestic gas works.
Yeah.
And so they do have a lot of it.
They'd
It was a tough
be
scene.
milking the dogs for amnestic gas. Aaron, quick, hide Daryl.
Oh my god. Here, we'll give you a D class, just give us some gas. That sounds fucked.
It's almost it sounds fucked, almost like it is fucked.
Even though it's probably what they do.
It's standard procedure.
Yeah.
I-
In 3, 2, 1.
To witness. There were trails of blood and rubble strewn across the floor, and groaning sound coming from all directions.
What the fuck is with that
Scavengers.
pose?
I wasn't sure if SCP-2901 caused the disaster they were often found near, or if they
I'm
just
sorry,
came
but
to
most
feed off.
people, when they lean down, they don't look like they're about to have a shit, but they're holding something up, like they crapped it out. God damn.
This person whose debt is being eaten just has their mouth perpetually open as if they're screaming.
Fun. The
Well,
plot
the
twist is
screaming.
Huh?
the plot twist is that Mothman was actually trying to give them mouth to mouth.
The screaming face makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the eyes being closed. Don't close your eyes if you die. Everything just stops.
Fun fact, that's a thing that I learned specifically from Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
Because when I was younger, when I first watched Return of the King and King Theoden died, I turned to my mom and was like, why is his eyes open? I thought people's eyes closed when they died. It's like, no, most people die with their eyes open. I was like, oh. And then I knew.
Yeah. Anyways, 3, 2, 1.
The misery. Either way, whenever sightings were reported, there was always heartbreak for someone's family. I spotted a woman struggling her way down the stairs.
Oh God.
Her hair was disheveled
my
and covered in
God.
grit and shrapnel. She had small cuts and bruises all over her face, and she was limping.
Small cuts and bruises.
Small. Yeah, okay. I guess that could just be like the dried blood, but Jesus.
Yeah, I'm sorry, just like the small cuts and bruises shows most of her face covered in blood and big ass bruise. Sorry, that just broke me. Anyways.
Face, and she was limping on what looked like a badly swollen ankle. I ran towards her to support
That's
her
not
weight
a
and took the
badly
lead.
swollen ankle. That's a fucking broken ankle.
Wait. We go look at it again. Hold on, I want to. Yeah, that is a broken foot.
That is 100% broken. Fun fact, if your fucking entire foot looks like it's been moved and the jagged part looks like it's just the bone of your leg, your foot's broken.
that is not how bone looks. That doesn't look like a real foot.
Oh God.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously. But like I'm interpreting this as if I would be looking at an actual foot.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
I have seen my own bone, and it is not black.
Well, I don't think the idea is that it would be jutting. Like, I'm perceiving it as like you can see that the bone is jutting out against the skin, but like the blackish area is bruising.
Anyways, random stuff, small cuts and bruises too. You wanna know how I got these guys?
Want to know how I got these scars? My father.
Anyways, in 3, 2, 1.
Ankle. I ran towards her to support her weight and took the lead, trying to demonstrate a professional approach to the newbie. Ma'am, excuse me. We're going to get you help. What's your name? We're investigating the collapse. What did you see? She breathed heavily onto my shoulder, struggling to maintain a standing position even with my assistance. I'm Elizabeth.
Just...
They're everywhere. So many of them.
May I
We're
just
all going.
may I
Yes.
just say that I'm pretty sure if a Foundation member wanted information, they would first try to make sure the person doesn't die.
Yeah, I was gonna say the appropriate procedure wouldn't be immediately start asking questions to person just getting out of disaster zone. It's first take them out of disaster zone,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
get
he's
them
walking
treatment,
re-
and then
and
do it.
he's walking really slow, like he's purposely trying to take his time so he can get as much information as possible before they get help, which makes no fucking sense.
But it's like and I think that's funny because like literally last night I was watching a thing with my mom called like What Bit Me. It's like a series about, well, you can guess various encounters with people getting bitten by various animals and
Mhm.
their stories surviving it. And like I thought it was funny like my mom was confused, but I thought it was a little funny that like this woman who was likely bitten by a small shark gets up on the beach and is crying out for help. She has a massive like gaping wound in her thigh, and the guy that comes up like he's doing what he needs to do to actually help her, but in the middle of it he's casually going like, that was the best damn way we've seen this today, huh? And like just like it's saying all sorts of random moderately goofy and mundane things to try to get the person's mind off of the pain. Like if he was doing something like that, I could see it. I could see him like talking like that, try to get their mind off the pain. But no, he goes straight into, "Hey, you know the pain? What caused the pain? What did you see? Where is the pain? What is the pain?
Yeah. I can't wait.
Did you see any dragon mothmen creatures? What about werewolf dragons? Did you see any werewolf dragons?"
If I do this, does it make more pain? Says random.
Just start slapping random parts of her body.
Yeah.
Hey, does this hurt? Fucking kicks her broken foot.
Hey, does this hurt?
Okay.
Bitch slaps her.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, anyways.
Anyway.
3, 2, 1.
Going to die. What are, ma'am? What are everywhere? The woman went limp in my arms, and the newbie gasped. I noticed a large quantity of sticky blood coming through her torn long-sleeve top at the arm. My stomach sunk as I realized what was causing it. Check her pulse, I ordered as the newbie turned a deathly shade of white. He obliged, walking over and placing his fingers behind her ear. She's
What?
gone,
What?
he whimpered.
Behind her ear?
And wait. Huh?
That that's not behind her ear. That's him like putting his own hands behind his own ears like he's about to have a panic attack.
Which is
Yeah.
like, I think that's what they're actually trying to go for, but the narrator mixed up pronouns, I guess. Either that or he's checking his own pulse to make sure that he's alive.
I
Here,
feel
give
like
me a
they
sec.
fucked up handling her so badly that she died on the way.
I wouldn't be too surprised. You know, like, here's the thing. This is a disaster zone, so, like, the gore feels somewhat reasonable. At the same time, I'm like, I'm kind of fine with just, like adding unnecessary gore points to this because of how just, like, botched it feels.
I will say one thing that feels botched is why wouldn't they go in a zone like this without some form of a stretcher? Because you shouldn't
Yeah.
move people's bodies too much in a case like this because you don't know what internal injuries they have. They might
Yeah.
have killed her by how they moved her. They were gonna move her like that, they might as well have grabbed her like a sack of potatoes and booked it.
Oh yeah.
Just princess carries her out and gets her to the EMT. Is like, here, we found this lady. Her guts are hanging out. What is your problem, sir?
No, I started thinking like
That's
this.
probably what they would be thinking as they drive off with her.
This is morbid, but the thing that came in my head is like, look, we found this lady, and the only thing they have on the stretcher is a head.
Oh my god. POV, you're getting your scout regiment family members' bodies back. Fucking hell. Then again, I think though, yeah, come to think of it, I think decapitation is pretty rare with Titan deaths.
Yeah.
Most of the time the head goes in the mouth.
We need
You
to
need to
question her.
question it.
He literally doesn't have vocal cords. Anyways.
Hello. Yes. What did you see? Please tell me those sounds came through.
Yeah.
Good.
Anyways, playing the video in 3, 2, 1.
Shuddering slightly, I pulled back the sleeve of her top and held her arm out. The skin had been stripped from the
Also,
wrist
may I
all the way to the
comment?
elbow.
I doubt the Foundation would hire someone that's supposed to go outside and do field work who wouldn't be able to handle seeing one corpse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I get that this guy's supposed to be a newbie, but I feel like their hiring uh requirements would probably be pulling from people with a significant amount of experience under their belt before they get
Yeah,
into the
like
foundation.
police or like medics.
Oh
I
yeah.
Yeah,
mean, if
like
they hire an EMT or an officer, they have to see corpses. That's what happens when you go out to try to help people, and sometimes they're not alive when you get there.
Uh-huh.
yeah, like the the foundation, generally speaking, I guess maybe unless you're a janitor, isn't going to have entry level work.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Anyways. In 3, 2, 1.
The skin had been stripped from the wrist all the way to the elbow, pus and blood starting to congeal as the first signs of death set in. That's what they do, newbie. These are the injuries we find. 2901 is definitely present, and judging by what she said and the look on her face, survivors will know about them. Amnestic field is a must. I gently lay the woman down on the floor and placed my head in my hands. I could feel a headache forming. We were among the first responders, but it wouldn't be long before a heap of camera crews and news vans were gathered
Hello.
outside conducting interviews.
Hello. Yes. Uh, hello. Hi. I'm in disaster zone, and I just handled someone who, by his own admission, had pus leaking out, a whole bunch of dried blood on them. Here, let me immediately take my hand off of this individual and put it on my face.
Yeah.
Because biocontaminant procedures are just non-existent for the Foundation, apparently.
They exist, he just doesn't act like a Foundation member. He acts like someone from the Men in Black movies, and I'm not taking that back.
I did not sign up to watch fucking budget Will Smith try to treat a woman with life-threatening injuries.
Yeah.
Ah, shit, it is budget Will Smith.
He's LARPing. Yeah.
Anyways.
He's the Foundation equivalent of that one like joke newsreel that goes around as like, you know, we were out here doing our scene, and Rob comes up and says, "Holy shit, we found a corpse." And Bob wanted to Bob wanted to try to bring the corpse back, which I knew wasn't going to work because like they don't have a head anymore. Well, the necromancy spell takes a lot of glitter, so apparently we contaminated the crime scene. Like it's just that, but SCP version.
Oh my god.
As a side note, that's one of my favorite goofy like skit things I've seen.
Yeah. It's in 3, 2, 1.
I needed to get in touch with ID card immediately. I grabbed my phone from my pocket and dialed the number. "Who are you calling?" my partner stuttered, looking way out of his depth, twitching as bits of building crumbled around him. "Information, Detraction, Censorship, and Rescission Division." I noted his confused face. "They'll sort out any media leak while we set up the field." He nodded. Before I could click call, a group of people started making their way down the stairs. I gestured to a spot behind the stairwell, and we made our way to the corner just in time to see multiple firemen carrying 3 survivors out of the wreckage.
Oh my god.
They stopped and bowed their heads sincerely at the body I'd left on the floor. I shushed the newbie silently, knowing we didn't have time to explain our presence to emergency workers whose only mission was to get people out of the rubble. We waited as they fought to the exit. Once they made it out the door, I started to make the call. The phone didn't ring. It took me a moment too long to realize it was nothing to do with signal or an issue with my technology. We were
my God.
experiencing a sudden acoustic cancellation, something often reported by field agents who had gotten dangerously close to 2901.
Right?
I looked up, and on perfect cue, there they were. 3 of them, all ellipsoid in shape but varying in dimension, making their way down the stairs. They levitated, remaining a few inches from the floor as they glided downwards, closer to where we
The
hid.
fuck is going on?
The absence of sound.
What?
Obviously, Mothman coming down. Duh.
What? The like one of the major points of the article is that they're like solitary scavenging creatures that don't get along well with each other when like one of them has claimed an area that's in a disaster zone. Why the fuck are there 3 of them? Did just like a whole family of the weird little fuckos move in instead of just one guy?
Yeah.
It's like, oh yes, this collapsed apartment building looks like a perfect place to raise our child.
I feel like this is definitely not someone who read the article.
Well, you see, that's the thing is like they have enough details that it's like they absolutely had to have read it,
They're
but
just
it's like,
ignoring large portions.
yeah, like I think they skimmed it and picked out keywords they liked the sound of and then wrote their script.
Yeah.
Or conversely, they did read it and they're just really bad at like working a document into like a narrative that they're putting together.
This is one of the reasons I hate content farms. Even when they do read it, either they skim it or they use information away that's still not accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna be called away in about 10 minutes, so let's try to hurry this along
Yeah.
so I can at
Sound was
least
unnerving.
be
Yeah.
here until the end of this video.
I could see the newbie trying to scream, but all there was deafening silence. I felt for him. This had to be a tough first day in a new post. I reached into my inner jacket pocket, noting the object's scaly, iridescent exterior. As much as they were spectral, they were solid. An impossible inconsistency to describe. They were both right there and not there
What?
at all. My fingers made contact with the handle of my gun.
Did the eyeballs
readied
move
myself
on the
to deal
head
with
while
it.
the head didn't move?
I
Okay.
I think kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Press play. Okay.
As we all
Coming
know,
altercation.
Mothman actually has very small eye stalks.
But instead, my plans were thwarted. The newbie stumbled out of our hiding space by the stairwell in a trance-like state, fascinated and terrified of the creatures before him. His sudden movement drew their attention, and I caught my clearest ever glimpse of their hollow, voided sockets that I presumed were eyes. They knew we were there. My ears began to ring, and the carnage was suddenly audible again. "Don't move," I spat under my breath, holding my gun in my pocket. The newbie froze as I enacted protocol. Slowly, I drew my arm out and raised it above my head, making sure the other arm that still held my phone matched. I maintained eye contact, attempting to make a threat display that was enough to frighten them off. 2901, although vast in numbers, are a solitary species, and it was unusual to see more than one without witnessing them attacking each other. I'd had to use this animalistic tactic before, but never on a group. In fact, I'd never observed a group of them together at all.
Okay, so you know that they're solitary. You just decided to add more of them for the fuck of it, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, bud.
Yep, pretty much.
Thanks for being faithful to the source material, shithead.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel that faithful.
Well, that was sarcasm.
3, 2, 1.
I was beginning to feel quite out of my comfort zone. It wasn't long before the screeching began. In the kerfuffle, the creatures noticed their counterparts and reverted to their typical territorial and hostile behavior. Two
Oh,
began to
what?
fight,
They just didn't
phasing in and
notice
out of
each other
visibility
until
as they
then?
omitted a
Yes.
Are you fucking... Oh, wait a second. It's like going off of the fact that like their behavior and thing changes with perception. So like he thought about the fact that they normally fight, so now they start fighting. This is so lame.
Yeah.
cacophony of awful noises. The third moved towards the frozen new operative. I gulped, knowing I had no choice. I aimed my gun at the creature and pulled the trigger. It wailed like a cat in heat before fizzling into nothingness in the air. I hated killing, hated it. But as the creature ceased to exist,
Hold on, you hated killing, but you're an MTF.
Granted, he's on an assignment that has effectively no killing.
Yeah.
Like his main job is convince people that Mothman exists, but it's a goofy little guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least that should be his main job, instead of waltzing into a fucking disaster zone wearing a suit and tie and shooting Mothman in the face.
Damn.
Oh, that's right. And mismanaging a woman going through severe bodily trauma. I forgot about that. That's also apparently part of his job description.
Yeah.
Newbie still has silent scream face. I will scream for him again.
3, 2, 1.
I let out a sigh of relief for Newbie. I grabbed his arm and dragged him towards the exit of the building. I'd wanted to go further, investigate the scale of the issue the Foundation.
Face?
He is.
Wait.
We just have to assume that this entire time in the background, he's actually just going, ah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. From the side, he kind of looks like James Jonas Jameson. Is that his name? The Spider-Man?
Oh fucking hell, he does. I hate that. He's an Asian J. Jonas Jameson.
An Asian Jefferson, an Asian version who's part of the Foundation instead of into news articles.
And is absurdly incompetent.
Yeah.
Give me more pictures of Mothman! Oh, you're serious? That is not how his laugh sounds, but I can't do his laugh.
Yeah. Anyways. 3, 2, 1.
We're facing, but I wasn't going to risk the trainee's life. I looked back at the body of Elizabeth on the floor before we left. I wondered what kind of life she'd had, her hopes and dreams. She'd already lost hers. I didn't want Newbie losing his. I could set up the amnestic field from outside.
We're just not gonna talk about the fact that he's holding onto the newbie's arm with the back of his hand.
Yeah.
That's just standard procedure,
Obviously.
He's got those special edition MTF back of hand fingers.
Yeah.
This is so stupid.
3, 2, 1.
He was near catatonic. I knew I was going to have to give feedback to the superiors that I didn't think he was cut out for the post, but damn did I feel bad about it. I liked the guy. I dragged him around the side of the rubble, past ambulances and gathering news vans, just like I'd predicted. As we walked, I sent a text to ID Card telling them damage control would be needed. His eyes were glazed and vacant. I shoved the small metal rod I'd kept strapped to my ankle in his hand. Place it amongst the rubble, I ordered. He dithered, shaking his head and trying to focus. What is it? The field. This will help limit survivors talking about what they saw. Place it in the concrete, and then we need to go, or it'll affect us too. Operatives will come for the device in a few hours. He did as he was told. I dusted my suit off and looked at the quivering trainee. The phone beeped with a response.
It's literally the fucking flash pen.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is just a terrible Men in Black ripoff.
Yeah.
I am so bothered by this.
Yeah.
Which Men in Black is just, in and of itself, a terrible ripoff of the CIA having one of the funniest means to get people to stop looking into government business.
Yeah. Alright, we got 2 minutes left. 3, 2, 1.
It read. Shoulder back, chin up. We need to get back under the line and on the subway without being in the back of a single camera. Got it? I barked. Got it. We walked in perfect tandem, heading towards the nearby station. We ducked back under the police line with confidence and didn't stop for the officer saying excuse me. He started to pursue us, but a volunteer caught his attention, giving us just enough time to slip down the subway stairs. There's really nothing more we can do? He asked, back to his inquisitive self. The Foundation are working on a feasible containment method, but until then, all we can do is reduce the risk of harm, research, learn more, and discredit any leaks. If this isn't for you, you can ask to be assigned elsewhere. No, I want this. I want to, need to, know more about them. I smiled, reaching the platform. The electronic sign read 2 minutes. 2 minutes, and this day would be over. Or that's what I thought. Just before the lights of the train reached the section of track that lined the platform, I noticed it. Had I looked a second later, I'd never have seen it at all. And once the train had passed, it was gone. A creature, black and shadowy, in that familiar ellipsoid shape. We settled in a double seat. I could hear the newbie breathing fast, adrenaline pumping. I checked that the carriage was clear, aside from ourselves, and picked up my phone, dialing my superior. He answered within a few rings. Sir, we're going to need to monitor the situation at Redacted Station. Sighting of SCP-2901. We aren't far from the now secured site, but further than any creature had been reported from a disaster zone, I said. My boss noted my concerns and hung up. What do you mean we're going to need to monitor the situation? The newbie asked nervously. I looked at him, lowering my eyes, and confirmed what he'd already pieced together in his own mind. I saw one on the platform, newbie. The sightings reported often come before a disaster. I think that apartment building was just the beginning.
Oh,
SCP-2901. Object Class, Euclid.
And that's it.
God, that was lame.
I am so angry at that.
Give me a sec.
They always shared you the when they wait. I just realized Dr.Cat never showed up in the video.
That's been the standard for the last few videos.
Yeah, I just noticed that. Also, they only showed like that important shit right at the end. It's,
This
it's
just
so, anyways, removal of character / license.
I'm guessing they didn't keep the license or anything.
Nope.
There weren't
Uh,
really any characters to remove except for Mothman themselves.
Yeah.
So I guess I guess that one's just a 2.
yeah.
Alters just added gore or violence.
I feel like putting that at a 2.
That sounds reasonable.
They were
Yeah.
needlessly gratuitous in how they showed a disaster scene, and they just felt the need to include Mothman gets into gunfight and gets shot unnecessarily.
Yeah, now here's the fun one. Deviates from the plot of the article.
Oh, for
It's
fuck's sake.
its skeleton is there, but they rearranged all of its organs. I think
Also, that is definitely not the right country.
most certainly not. Um, so I guess I think I'd put that as a 2 as well. Like it's not egregious to the point where it's an unrecognizable story. We can see the bones are still there. They're just
Yeah.
rearranged and covered in different meats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only
My
men in the
opinion.
video / offensiveness.
There were women. There were people of color because it seems like it took place in an Asian country.
Well, that doesn't mean that it would. It may have taken place in an Asian country, but it wasn't supposed to take place in an Asian country. It was supposed to take place in an area with some amount of diversity.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense, Rando. Agreed.
So, do we even have anything for this tier?
I feel like it should count that since it originally would have happened in the United States, there would have been people of color, not just Asian people, and there would have been white people. There would have been other people.
I don't know. I think a simple I feel like a simple setting change isn't the most egregious thing. Like
Well, it
I
typically isn't something I would mind that much, but it's about something that is well known to be from the Americas.
yeah, I don't know.
It's like taking, let me think of an animal that's notoriously from one area specifically, the cheetah, and then talking about its home habitat in Alaska.
Mm,
How the fuck you get
I
up here?
guess I guess I just don't find it offensive. I, but like if you want to hedge it, I'm fine with a 1.
Just a one.
Alright,
Yeah.
alright, let me
'Cause,
add the
like even
score.
then that would be like the only major thing.
Yeah.
Because we still have women. There wasn't like too much egregiously offensive stuff aside from mismanaging a disaster zone.
Yeah, but mismanaging a disaster zone goes into altered added gore violence.
Exactly.
Hey, did worse than the previous one.
Yay. Okay, I gotta step away for a half hour or
Yeah, well,
so.
actually, I'm getting really tired. I don't know why.
Oh,
So
okay.
got it. So, got any last words, Hatchet?
Liberty Nuggets. They decaked up our Mothman. This is a crime against humanity. Have a
Oh
good
my
night, everyone.
Yeah, good night.
Take care, y'all.
Take care. Jerry, any last words for stream?
And remember, don't work so hard that your narcolepsy might kick in early.
Maybe.
Aaron, you know that was aimed at you.
I work a physical labor job. Fuck you. Anyways, random person says they ruined the autism symbol.
Wait, what happened?
I don't know. They just random person says they ruined the autism symbol, and that's it. Is that your last words, Rando? Mothman, the symbol of autism. Oh my god. A mascot would be more accurate, but still. Are those your last words, Rando? Those are my final words. Alright. So, Danger Channels, I will see you guys tomorrow for Analog Horror. The King Pixels, the Backroads. The ones that was made into a movie. We get to see before the movie. Anyway, so I'll see you guys then, and sour stripping candy bars.
What?